Scottsbluff City Council works to move the final stage of the 18th Street Plaza one step closer to reality. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Scottsbluff City Council Monday night approved a letter to the Department of Economic Development requesting $465,000 for the final phase of the 18th Street Plaza project. Scottsbluff Economic Development Director Star Lael says the city has allocated $312,000 already for this project, and a new fundraiser called Bricks for the Bluffs will let residents buy 4x8 and 8x8 bricks that will be installed in the plaza.
So citizens will be able to take part in the construction and final construction phase of the plaza. So we're researching right now different brick companies, and the idea is to try to match the brick that's in the Powerhouse building and also the Art Center, so that the downtown ties in really nice together, including the bricks for the stage, the archway, seating areas, and those types of things.
Lael says more information on the Bricks for the Bluffs project will be released later this month. Well, what to do with the millions of additional revenues flowing into the state's coffers likely to take center stage during the legislative session that starts tomorrow? That's according to Speaker of the Legislature, Mike Hilders. He says one of the big issues lawmakers will have to deal with is what to do with the $1 billion of latest round of pandemic assistance coming from the state from the federal government.
Those are one-time dollars, and we are looking for one-off investments. And for a state that has, an $8 billion budget, getting $1 billion to be able to spend under a short time frame on infrastructure projects or the like can be pretty transformative if we do it wisely. At the same time, we have really a record level of cash reserve and additional general fund dollars.
Other issues Hilders says will likely consume floor debate will be priority legislation by lawmakers who will be term limited this year, as well as discussions on school funding. He says one unique subject to get attention will be the work of the State Tourism and Recreation Water Access Resource Special Committee, which is nicknamed Star Wars Committee. That is looking at how the state can elevate its water resources and leverage them for maximum economic impact. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then, your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
My name is Angela and I'm with Langer Industrial Services. There's a huge technology part in metal, just with all the programs we use, running the scale and paying people, all the software. He does 24/7 ransomware monitoring, making sure the programs run smoothly, making sure everything's running properly. So it's nice to have Jeremy there to call when things go wrong. He's always there right away. He's, within 30 minutes he shows up.
ERH Technology Solutions, we make technology work for you. Welcome back. The Nebraska State Patrol is investigating a shooting that occurred last night in Kimball. Around 8:45 p.m., the Kimball Police Department requested assistance from the NSP after responding to a shooting on South Oak Street in Kimball. The victim was identified as 21-year-old Tessa Gehring, who was found deceased with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. A suspect, 36-year-old William Serrano, was taken into custody and charged with involuntary manslaughter. The State Patrol says 2 children were inside of the home at the time of the incident. Both were unharmed and are now in the custody of their mother. Nebraska State Patrol is the lead investigating agency and is receiving assistance from the Kimball Police Department and the Kimball County Sheriff's Department. We'll have more news on this story when it becomes available. Well, Dawes County Coroner Vance Haug says no foul play is suspected in the Saturday evening death of a 13-year-old Chadron boy. First responders were dispatched to the boy's home after his family had found him unresponsive, and the boy was rushed to Chadron Community Hospital, but efforts to revive him were unsuccessful, and he was pronounced dead. Haug says an autopsy has been ordered to try to determine the exact cause of death, adding the investigation is continuing, with authorities asking that anyone who believes they have information about the teen or his death to contact the Chadron Police Department to help resolve what he calls a tragic incident. And Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Department is advising about a phone scam in the area which may not be new, but has caused losses in the thousands of dollars. Sheriff Mark Overman says in one local incident, the scammer used caller ID spoofing technology, which caused the caller ID to show that a law enforcement agency was calling. The scammer identified himself using the correct name of a law enforcement supervisor, telling the victim that she would be arrested if she did not pay a fine of several $1,000s, and the only way she could pay it was to purchase cash cards at local businesses and provide the card numbers to him. Overman says one of the biggest single red flags that you are being scammed is a request to purchase any type of gift or money card and provide those numbers from that card. The FBI issuing a recent warning about the scam to residents of Wyoming and Colorado as well. Well, coming up for the break, high wind gusts today and lots of snow later this week. Bill Boyer's in with your Tuesday evening forecast right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Everything is merry and bright at Compliments for you and your home. Stop in today for all the latest winter fashions. For your wife and friends, to your sister or mother, we have the outfit for them. With brands like Charlie B, Can, and Flying Monkey, which appeals to women of all ages, Compliments has got a style for you. Compliments also has the jewelry, purses, and shoes to complete your outfit. And don't forget to ask about our new tribal pajamas for Christmas morning. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5. Compliments, 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, as we look across the area tonight, we're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll see light snow showers develop by early morning tomorrow, but really by mid-morning, that's when the snow starts to pick up, become intense here across the region, and we're going to be dealing with quite a bit of snow. Winter storm warnings have been issued. 5 to 8 inches seems likely for most of the area, more in isolated areas. Very cold conditions with falling temps out there as well, and dangerously cold wind chills, especially tomorrow night. Yesterday we hit 53 degrees. And remember, now we're going to be talking about dangerously cold wind chills here. Fast forward just 24 to 48 hours. Nothing in the rain gauge. We will add up some of that here. This is the problem. Here is the cold air entrenched off to the north of us, and boy, is it entrenched in those areas. We've got teens to near 20 degrees off to the north of us, and you could see we're starting to get some of that colder air funneled in here to the south as we have, boy, look at this. I mean, even teens, as cold as the teens from Lusk over to Chadron, Gordon, Valentine, and then warmer off to the south, even a 31 right now in Cheyenne. Winds have started to push off to the east. We have wind gusts still 25, 30, 40, gusting up to 45 at times off to the east of us. We've come down a bit with winds still gusting to 20 to 30, and we've got wind chills right now in the single digits, below zero and near zero in some areas, and then in the southern area. We're all going to be cold tomorrow, though, as we go across the area. Well, this is what we're looking at. We have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings that have been issued. The winter weather advisory starts here in portions of Lusk, Niobrara County, down through Sioux and Box Butte counties, those areas under winter weather advisories. Further to the south and east, they continue as well. Inside all that, the big part of this area, these are winter storm warnings. This includes most of the North Platte River Valley and points southward and either side of the North Platte River Valley. That is where we expect this band of heavy snow to fall. Well, most of the buses aren't going to be running tomorrow. Several schools already closed in the region for tomorrow, and those that do try to go are going to encounter snow in the morning, and on the way home, more snow and heavier between the bus rides. And that's when the snow is going to start to pile up out there. We'll walk our way through Futurecast here for tonight. We're going to have a few snow showers. We've had some throughout the day. Those will taper off this evening, and we're going to be partly to mostly cloudy, but here comes the snow back in tomorrow, and we're looking at low temperatures overnight in the teens off to the south, below zero, single digits below zero in the northern portions of the region. We're not going to warm up much from that tomorrow. There's the snow, filters in by 8, 9 o'clock. A band of moderate to heavy snow pushes across the region, intense at times. By tomorrow evening, it starts to push south and away from the area, and by overnight, tomorrow night into Thursday, we have a decrease, maybe another little round of some light snow Thursday. And we are looking for highs tomorrow. Yeah, you're reading this correctly. These are forecast highs below zero here in the northern panhandle. And these are misleading. This area is going to be in the teens for the most part to start the day off. Will fall back into the single digits and back to near zero by the end of the day tomorrow as well. Those areas are going to be dealing with, again, falling temps all across the area. The precip forecast, this is the actual melted liquid that we expect out of this. Notice decent amounts of some snow coming with moisture, maybe over a half an inch in some areas. So when we total it all up, what are we looking at for snowfall accumulations? That's the big question, and we will paint these on here. You'll see some areas picking up moderate to heavy snow, having an issue here with the map updating, but some moderate to heavy snow in portions of the area. There we go. 7 to 10 inches, a likely bet in many locations. Maybe a little on the high side, maybe close to a foot in some areas. Again, it's going to be isolated areas, but any area in this particular shaded vicinity is where we expect the heavier snow, at least 4 to 8 inches. Some areas maybe a little more than that. And again, we're dealing with a pretty good band of snow. But notice as you go off to the north, you get up around Gordon and Valentine and Mullen, those areas, very little, if any, snow. So it's a thin band of snow, but we're going to be dealing with some intense snowfall rates in there. 12 tonight for a low. With mostly cloudy skies. Only to 14, 15 for a high tomorrow. That's early, then falling temps. Snow, areas of blowing snow around as well. Again, at least 5 to 8 inches, I think, likely here, maybe a little more. And then we see temps go well below zero Wednesday night. Thursday, maybe back to near 20. And then notice we don't fall off much Thursday night, and then we quickly warm back up by Friday, getting into the 40s. Staying there most of the weekend, maybe a little cooler on Sunday in the mid and upper 40s for the middle portions of next week as well. So very active forecast here over the next 24 to 36 hours.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leaf Heads.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
The 2021 Beef Bash is in the bag, hosted by the Scottsbluff County Ag Society at the fairgrounds in Mitchell. The three-day event saw good attendance. Casey Huckfeld, assistant manager at the Scottsbluff County Fairgrounds, says it can always be a bit tricky holding this kind of event in winter.
With this being our second year and we didn't know how weather would go, we were on the fence about how numbers would, but after check-ins, we were very pleased. We ended up around 350, 400 by the end of it, so it made for a pretty large show, large enough to where it filled the day, but wasn't too long of a day.
Judging Friday's showmanship was Kobe Hales, livestock judge from Casper, Wyoming. He says making the animal look good is a top priority.
If their animal is set up in the right way, they're groomed in a good way, they can get the most out of that animal and make them look to the highest degree that they possibly can. And then on top of that, past making their animal look good, the other thing that I like is for those kids to look very professional, and they need to have a little pizzazz, I guess, is kind of the term that I use quite a bit, and make sure that they're just a good professional showman.
The first class on Friday was a Pee-wee showmanship where Kason Carlson of Henry took first place. He tells us a little bit about his shorthorn heifer.
We took her down my friend Colin's and we washed her, dried her, and clipped her, and we loaded her up, and I was excited for this day.
Carlson's heifer is named Twisted Sister, so he can call her Sis for short. But he has found memories of another steer he had a couple of years ago.
My goodest memory was probably 2 years ago when I had my favorite steer and I didn't want to get rid of.
What was your favorite steer?
His name was Sassy Pants because he's black and they're always sassy.
The showmanship show was Friday, and Saturday was the prospect show, followed Sunday by the breeding show. Huckfeld says they are already looking towards next year and maybe including more booths.
So I'd like to see how much more I could bring in. We obviously have the space and how we want to use the space and the smartest way to use the space. So it's going to take some time just to figure out how much is too much or just the little tiny things like that. For next year, it's a winter show, so you always just kind of go with what you think, and the numbers could be super high or super low, so you just gauge it to around 350, 400 like we did this year and just roll with it. And every year there's always improvements. I mean, the improvements we made from this year from last year has been tenfold, and it's shown in just the smoothness of how the show was run.
The 2021 Beef Bash was held December 31st through January 2nd at the Scottsbluff County Fairgrounds in Mitchell.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our amazing team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level. We use CPAPs and BiPAPs too, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with every major insurance company in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, Governor Pete Ricketts kicked off the new year with a walk around the Nebraska Capitol to promote the benefits of exercise. Ricketts and others used the event to encourage Nebraska residents to enroll in the Well Power Movement, a free program with activity tracker, virtual badges, and a social component organized by the nonprofit Nebraska Sports Council. The governor said the key to getting healthier in 2022 is to get active.
I've got a Peloton, so that's one of the ways that I do it, but I think one of the keys is find something you like to do, make that commitment, even if it's a small commitment, to do some sort of exercise every day. And it can just be what we're going to do today, which is just walking.
Dr. Gary Antone, the state's chief medical officer, said 25% of adults reported no activity other than from their work last year, and roughly 1/3 of Nebraska's adult population is considered overweight.
This is up 7% over the past 7 years. Only 15 states have obesity rates higher than Nebraska. The newest thing is obesity and COVID. Obesity increases your risk of getting severe illness from COVID. It triples a person's risk of being hospitalized due to being COVID positive.
Ricketts was joined by Dave Mlarneck of the Nebraska Sports Council to promote the use of the free online activity tracker sponsored by the Nebraska Sports Council. It includes the ability to track your activity by the mile with hundreds of virtual badges available for accomplishments and a social chat function where participants can learn about others' efforts and provide encouragement. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.